Hey, what up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you with the big Lockdown 2014 prediction video. Of course, this is coming off the heels of Kurt Angle tweeting out this morning that he's not going to be at Lockdown. He has an injury that basically needs to get fixed due to the attack by EC3. So the Kurt Angle EC3 match, the steel cage match, of course, because all Lockdown matches are held inside of a cage, basically is going to be canceled according to the TNA website, and it is being pulled from the show. This leaves EC3 without a match. I expect to see him doing something involved with this Lethal Lockdown match, even though he's not one of the 8 contestants. Of course, this will be the big one that everyone is looking at. Team MVP. MVP, Jeff Hardy, a.k.a. Will-O-the-Wisp, and the Wolves. Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards going up against Team Dixie, Bobby Roode, Austin Aries, and the Bromans. Yeah, that's what's going to be going on. Honestly, in my mind, I would think the Team MVP would be pulling out and getting the victory. Of course, everybody knows the winning team is going to receive complete control of TNA wrestling operations. Team MVP being the big, surprise investor that, the big storyline that's been going on for about the last little over a month, the whole time they've been over in the UK. Of course, they filmed these shows a long time ago, and they've been in the can and airing them. And of course, since then, we've seen them go to Japan. We've seen the tag team championships change hands twice, of course, with the Wolves beating the Bromans and the Bromans beating the Wolves and getting them back. We have a new X Division champion. I don't know what his name is. That's not me. I'm not into Japan wrestling. I know nothing about it. But basically, he is the new champion after beating whoever was the X Division champion. I don't remember who it was. It might have been Chris Sabin, I'm pretty sure, but I'm not 100% sure. But basically, in this Lethal Lockdown match, of course, I would want to pick Team MVP. Of course, it would be a change of pace with the good guys having the advantage and having to see Dixie try and, get this advantage back. Try to find, some way to spend that money in order to make sure that you'd be in control of TNA wrestling and, just basically the come from behind story about what's going on. But basically, involved in the storyline was that Dixie needed a captain for her team, and basically she promised, Roode, if they win, he becomes a 10% owner of TNA. I guess he thinks that the TNA stock is worth something, but basically, I'm thinking that basically, Robert Roode, he wants to be the TNA champion. He hasn't held the belt in a long time, ever since losing it to Austin Aries, and then Austin Aries, of course, lost it to Jeff Hardy, and then Jeff Hardy lost it to Bully Ray, and then it went with the Ace and Eight storyline, which rolled into AJ Styles winning the belts, and then, of course, Magnus winning the belts off of the tournament. It's been a long time since Roode has been champion. Magnus looks like he's going to be the long-time sort of, heel champion. Of course, I would love to see a Roode face turn. It's been a long time coming, and with him owning 10% of the company, I'm guessing that that's going to come into play with him getting his title shot, and then basically, in the end, giving Team MVP the right to, sort of make this match down the road with using MVP's stock and using Roode's stock. When he becomes a face, he's able to overcome Dixie, and that's how they do it. But basically, that's a long way down the road, so that's the reason why I'm going to be picking Team Dixie to win this match. Of course, after that, you're going to have the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. This is contested under Joe's rules, which is a match only won by submission or knockout. Magnus versus Joe. Basically, I don't think that Joe has a shot. I'm glad that he rose to the top. I talked about this with him at Bound for Glory last year, that basically he hasn't seen the light of day in TNA in a long time. He hasn't been booked in a match that anybody cares about. If you go back to Bound for Glory, he's involved in that huge X Division match, and just basically nobody gave a fuck about it. It was a way to get a lot of guys on the card that they didn't have anything. Austin Aries, he had Samoa Joe, Chris Sabin, you had Jeff Hardy in there. It had a huge expectation. It might not have lived up to it. I had a lot of fun watching it. But basically, I think Magnus is going to pull this out. I think he's the champion for the long time to come. Sort of like, when Roode had the belt, the same thing. Everybody kept waiting for him to lose the belt, but he kept on, winning. Same reason why I'm going to pick Magnus here. TNA Knockouts Championship is going to be Madison Rayne against Gail Kim. I'll take Madison Rayne to get the win. Gunner is going to fight James Storm in a last man standing match inside of the steel cage. I'll take Gunner to win this match. Of course, the Angle versus EC3 match is off the table now. And then we have some inter-promotional tag team matches. We have Tiger Uno going up against Manic. I'll take the outside guy to get the win. And then we have the Great Muta, Sonata, and I don't even know what that name is, going up against Bad Influence and Chris Sabin. I'll take the Outsiders to get the win. They wouldn't bring these guys over here just to have them lose a match. So I'll take TNA to lose both of those. And then in my head-scratching match of the night, Mr. Anderson against Samuel Shaw. I know Sam Shaw is the guy they're trying to make look like a huge sort of just psychopath, but why they're having him fight Mr. Anderson and Mr. Anderson's not fighting Bully Ray, I got no idea, but it's my own fault for not watching the shows. I'll take Sam Shaw to get the win, even though Anderson is a guy that I always root for, but just because they're trying to push the guy to the top, I'll take him for the win. That's going to be your Lockdown 2014 predictions. I don't know. If I'm doing nothing, I might watch this, but if anything else in the world comes up, it's not number one on my plans.